Hello everyone and now welcome to another game, FoCuS versus Sock. This game taking place here on Last Refuge. FoCuS has spawned as the red orc over here on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile over here on the top right, the blue human considered to be one of the best players around playing ladder, and as they go up again in a previous game that they play very seriously, even if it is just ladder. What is going to go down in this matchup here? What are the hero choices going to be? We previously saw an Archmage versus a Farseer. We may see that again. Humans always use Breaker in the matchup as far as I can remember, except when their tower rush constantly. I don't think it's super imba, but late game Orc has a lot of problems because of spell immunity. Yeah, I would definitely say that is the case. Well, it is going to be Farseer versus Archmage. And spellbreakers give a little bit of range, right? So being able to have a little bit of range, you don't necessarily want footmen in the battle. And the problem is that Kodo Beast cancels Knights so well as well. Kodo Beast being able to just be able to devour a 4 supply unit means that you really don't want to be going those high supply units. Spellbreakers themselves, because they have a little bit of range, are able to pull back and create a little bit of distance when compared to those Kodo Beasts. So that is also another factor. You definitely don't want footmen, right? Footmen do not work out well. You could try and go for rifle casters. That is another strategy that I often see, but it is a strategy that generally works out more during the mid game. It is one of those situations where you don't really get into an end game scenario. You have your rifle casters try and win out that way. But if your opponent then just goes into a large number of raiders with that medium armor, your riflemen just fall a little bit short. And then once it gets into the end game, well, things just generally do not work out well. War Stomp is a problem if human didn't go for Spellbreakers. Well, War Stomp is already a problem even if you go for Spellbreakers. We saw how effective it was against that back line. All right, I'm just talking about Orc having trouble with late game composition. Yeah, if Orc has a problem with late game composition against mass spellbreakers, if it's still just against rifle caster, it's not nearly as big of a problem, in my humble opinion, from all of the games that I've seen. Anyways, we're looking at, well, Archmage picking up Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3, and although it may not look like it, those Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3 actually very, very helpful, giving that Archmage a lot more hit points. As we saw in the previous matchup, a level 2 Archmage normally only has 475 hit points, making them very, very vulnerable, especially as the game progresses on. Spirit Wolf trying to make its rounds out. Will it be able to get out there? It looks like, yes, FoCuS will be able to just run around with this Spirit Wolf, but experience is going to be given. Forest Troll Berserker has been trained up. Very, very high damage dealing unit, as creeps are now getting aggroed in as well. Forest Troll Trapper is going to get pulled back over, creating a little bit of separation. Farseer going to try and get the last hit off. Is he going to be able to do it? No, does not do it there. Trying to get every bit of experience as the Spirit Wolves once again going to be making their way over. Farseer sitting at level 1. Forest Troll Shadow Priest going to be making their way over. Are we just going to be looking at Abolish Magic? Yep, Abolish Magic trying to shut one down, and another one going to get taken out as well. Archmage may actually get to level 3 before the Farseer gets to level 2, even though the Farseer has been so close to level 2 for quite some time. All right, Archmage making its rounds back out as well. Militia now making their way over. Archmage going to go in and try and engage against these 5-3-3 creep camps. Circlet of Nobility, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3, and Robe of Magi. Big items for that Archmage. Already up to 510 mana, dealing big damage and having a good amount of hit points. That's pretty much exactly what you need. Survivability and plenty of mana with bonus damage on that Archmage. That Archmage looking very, very strong. Meanwhile, coming back on the other side, I was like, wait, I see 2 heroes out on the screen. How is that possible? Well, Wand of Illusion even faking me out. All right, are we going to look at additional units getting cleared or getting hired up here? There you go, going after the Forestral Berserker to try and pick it up. Units now trying to back away as well. And here we have an expansion attempt coming in from Soft. Multiple Kodos, not that useful since high supply, fragile, and weak attack. Unless you eat and immediately back away. That's exactly how you should be using Kodos. And when you have access to level 2 War Stomp coupled with a Scroll of Speed, that's exactly how you should be using it. The Stomp stuns the unit in time, while the Scroll of Speed allows that Kodo Beast to get in and out of that situation and that fight pretty quickly. All right, Archmage now making their way over. We're going to be looking at a couple of repairs already getting underway. As well, Orc Burrows are the weakest link until they get that precious fortified armor. Tauren Chieftain, does it have a stomp? It looked like it could have stomped, but decided against it. Not quite sure what that was about. Water Elemental about to get taken down at the hands of a grunt. There you go, giving a little bit of experience back over here. All right, Farseer harassment. Well, not really doing much of anything because it's just an illusion, as we're looking at 38 supply compared to 37. All right, unit's going to try and engage once more. Level 2, level 1 going up against a level 3 Archmage. No Mountain King as of yet. Water Elemental getting ensnared here. And really gutsy move by FoCuS, actually creeping even though his opponent is right next to him. We're going to see a Wand of Mana Stealing picked up by that Tauren Chieftain. Most likely will be trying to take some mana away from the Mountain King later on in this upcoming fight. And it's perfect for me. Yeah. But even as human player, you must agree with the fact that Mass Teleport needs a bigger cooldown. And Mass Teleport needs a larger cooldown, as Tranquility needs a larger cooldown. The fact that it's useful both in and out of combat is one of those things where you need to consider that, right? But yeah, Keeper of the Grove being able to like fight in a battle, pop Tranquility right at the start, and the same thing about the Archmage. Really, the downside to the Archmage's Mass Teleport is how much mana it costs, and it really shuts down the remaining abilities on that Archmage, unless the Archmage has level 3 Brilliance Aura and times his attacks a little bit better, right? Like every time he retreats, the priests are going to be healing up that army, and all of a sudden, after it's healed back up, they can just pretty much head back anywhere else. So it's one of those abilities where you are, if it's useful both in and out of combat, it probably needs a longer cooldown, and if it's only useful in combat, then it probably needs a shorter cooldown, right? It's not like if a battle lasts long enough to where Metamorphosis is useful twice, well then that should possibly be a thing, right? And the worst possible thing about Metamorphosis compared to the cooldown is that you can pop Metamorphosis at the start of a battle, and then the human player goes, okay, I'm just going to Mass Teleport out, and then by the time I Mass Teleport back in, I've used my ultimate ability twice, and your Metamorphosis is on cooldown, so I don't have to deal with that. But then again, if an Archmage is able to Mass Teleport twice against a level 3 mana-burning Demon Hunter, well, you're doing some other things wrong as well. Archmage coming back down here, going after the Great Hall. We're seeing a Chain Lightning finishing out some Forest Troll Shadow Priest units. They're trying to split back every which way. Farseer sitting at level 3, has level 2 Spirit Wolves, not level 2 Chain Lightning. Purge now onto a Forest Troll Berserker. That's going to get taken down right there, giving level 3 to that Tauren Chieftain. Archmage of Sock still by himself. No, not the Mountain King. It is going to be a Blood Mage. All right, interesting switch up right there. Blood Mage over Mountain King. Are we perhaps going to see the Archmage get taken out here? Oh, nope, no, he still had a Scroll of Town Portal. Difficult to click on him. Scroll of Town Portal to head back out. There he goes. Double Circlets of Nobility. Will need a Scroll of Regeneration. Buys another Scroll of Town Portal. So far, he's only spending all of his extra gold on Scrolls of Town Portal, which is really not what you want to be doing. All right. We're looking at 49 supply compared to 45 right now. The Blood Mage going to give some extra mana back to the Archmage. Archmage also, well, going to give extra mana back to the Blood Mage with that Brilliance Aura. A little bit of a infinite supply loop right there, trying to keep that Archmage constantly topped off. Maybe it's his pocket strat versus an Orc. We've seen this one from Sock. Yep, we'll see if this is going to be specific. Perhaps the narrow walkways allowing for Flame Strike to be much more useful. But we also saw that well, FoCuS is not afraid to go for Wind Riders to try and counteract or to take the fight into the air to minimize Thunderclap, and in this situation, what could possibly be Flame Strike. Siphon mana, taking away the Tauren Chieftain and mana, and well, double Wand of Mana stealing on that Tauren Chieftain. Unfortunately for the Tauren Chieftain, he is not going to be able to use both of those Wand of Mana stealings at the same time. The cooldown, I believe, is shared, so he's not going to always be able to throw down a stomp, especially with that Blood Mage taking away his mana. Alright, Archmage about to get to level 4 here. Blood Mage gonna be staying. Oh wait, come on, Archmage, get up to level 4 and now back away. Nope, gonna share a little bit of experience again there. Archmage sitting at level 4. Blood Mage still sitting at level 1. Are we going to be looking at the Ogre Lords getting cleared out here? No, we are not. Just a 5-3-3 creep camp. Blood Mage should be able to get to level 3, especially if the Archmage does back up. Siphon mana back into that Archmage to drop in more Water Elementals again. Wand of Mana stealing is a crystal ball of big consumable drops. Yeah, it is the least favorable one. I would say if they upped it to 75, that way it is still the same amount of swing as the Potion of Greater Mana. It would, well, actually it has 2 charges. So Potion of Greater Mana gives 250 right now. Yeah, so it still needs to be upped significantly. Oh, Pipe of Insight completely useless for the Archmage. That will quickly be sold. Meanwhile, back inside the main base, Sorceress getting taken out here. Guard towers are trying to offer a little bit of protection. Kodo Beast offering a big damage bonus across the board as the Scroll of Town Portal now coming in. 49 supply compared to 70 Sock. All right, in comes the Rifleman here. Spirit Wolf's going to get taken out. No Spellbreakers in this battle. Siphon mana away from the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, however, does get the Stomp in as the Rifleman getting taken out here. All right, are we going to see some slow banish, a purge onto that Tauren Chieftain as the Tauren Chieftain able to get away? Are we going to be seeing a major stomp, though? And that's the problem. The Tauren Chieftain wants to try and stomp onto all of those peasants, but he knows that if he turns around to stomp, he is just going to get all of his mana siphoned back again. Meanwhile, Archmage quickly sells that useless Pipe of Insight. Wand of Wind removed for... well, there needs to be a little bit of RNG in the game. I think moving down the charges from 3 to 2 was enough to help fix a little bit of its power curve. I mean, before you were super excited to get Wand of Wind in the next battle because it's just that strong, that powerful. Now it isn't nearly. You're not disappointed, but you're not as super excited, which is where I think that particular item drop slot should be. Archmage going to try and engage here. Scroll of Healing. Blood Mage going to get Flame Strike, Chain Lightning. Oh. And beautiful, beautiful timing on that stomp right there. A Flame Strike inbound, only to be stopped by the Tauren Chieftain. That Flame Strike is not a full, is like a 1 second channeled ability in order to be used. And the Tauren Chieftain's timing was absolutely spot on to stop it. All right, Tauren Chieftain down to 400 hit points and falling rather quickly. Peasants still trying to surround here, and now there's that health stone being used. 74 supply compared to 51. There goes in another stomp again. The Tauren Chieftain really just engaging around. Spellbreakers are getting added in here. Rifleman gonna try and start perhaps focusing down unit as the Archmage is at level 5 here, and this is actually a rather strange spot. All right, because the Blood Mage is gone, well, it looks like the Archmage may be able to get to level 6 very, very quickly. There goes another stomp there. And what is going on? All you have to do is attack that Tauren Chieftain, and the Tauren Chieftain will execute a Scroll of Town Portal to head back out. If you don't like that fight, there you go. That's what you should have been doing. A couple of invisible plays later, a Grudge or 2 could get taken out. No, they are all still going to be fine. All right. Level 5 on that Archmage here. He still has a good supply advantage sitting at tier 1. This game makes you realize how important the MK is. Torrent Chieftain does whatever he wants when the MK isn't present. Also, we see a transition from Spellbreakers to Riflemen. Spellbreakers also shut down a bit of what the MK is able to do, as the Mountain King, or as the Spellbreakers, are not as affected, or are not affected by the War Stomp at all, making the Torrent Chieftain have to run around them, run around the Spellbreakers, and then the Spellbreakers are removing much of the mana that the Torrent Chieftain has. The Torrent Chieftain, in that fight, you saw him use 3 charges of that Wand of Mana Stealing, and that was the reason why that Torrent Chieftain also had so much mana throughout that particular match, as the Torrent Chieftain gets up to level, and the Farseer get up to level 5. All right, so FoCuS is in a great spot here. He is setting up his own expansion, getting into low upkeep finally. Sock currently having the supply advantage. Will he be able to capitalize on it? That is the question here. Blood Mage is going to be able to siphon mana. We can see there's a Flame Strike trying to create a little bit of traffic in the middle of the fight right there. There you are, siphon mana. Torrent Chieftain, there goes the Stomp, shutting that down pretty much before it gets going. Torrent Chieftain still fighting in that back spot, hoping to land a Stomp there. There gets another Stomp. Blood Mage sitting at level 3. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability right there. Is he going to try and use it? Yes, it is. There's a siphon mana away from the Farseer. Farseer being forced to break the chain, as the Torrent Chieftain now coming back over, wanting to land a Stomp again. All right, Stomp onto that unit there. There's a Stomp. There's that Lightning Shield, as a Water Elemental pretty much coming out from nowhere, getting back in on that fight. Blood Mage going to get taken down. No, Scroll of Town Portal transferred at 64 hit points in order to get away, and a successful tactical retreat there at 79 supply. All right, able to retreat at 79 supply. Oh, it looks as though a farm needs to be destroyed. Even with this farm destroyed, is there just enough room for the Archmage to squeeze on out of that spot? That might be a little bit... Is there? Yes, there is enough room right in between those two buildings to squeeze on out. 80 supply compared to 49, and this is the spot where you want to be in. You know that whoever wins this next battle is pretty much going to decide the pacing of the rest of the game. The Blood Mage has constantly been focused down very quickly, doesn't have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. That is one of the things I am surprised about, but instead going for double scrolls of healing across the two heroes to try and mitigate that Stomp effect. The Blood Mage also actually has a large amount of armor, but still has been focused down a lot, even though it has more hit points and more armor than the Archmage. All right, Torrent Chieftain is going to be playing a game of peekaboo off to the side here. Are we going to see a Stomp here? And oh, this is going to be bad. There you go, stunning down about 20 supply. However, a Flame Strike comes into position. Siphon mana, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability there to try and counteract it. There is another Stomp, as the Torrent Chieftain does not have Lightning Shield as of yet. Are we going to see a Flame Strike? Yes, we are. There it goes across all of those. Shaman, the Shaman taking some damage over time. Blood Mage going to be in trouble. Gets an invisibility and ends up surviving. Torrent Chieftain could try and Stomp, and he gets the Blood Mage anyways. The size of that Stomp able to take down that Blood Mage, as that Torrent Chieftain knew exactly where it was. Archmage, Scroll of Town Portal trying to transfer away. A couple of Spellbreakers able to head back as well. All right. And level 6 Archmage, though. Yeah, level 6 Archmage able to teleport around the map, especially with sorceresses with invisibility. But Sock has lost the 20 supply advantage that he had at the start of the battle. Blood Mage now back out onto the field. Archmage is right here. Gold mines are starting to run low. This gold mine still has more, and that is going to be a key issue as well. The fact that the gold mines are running low for Sock. If FoCuS can hold on and push this game past the 4-minute mark, well, Sock will need to try and set up a new expansion as well. Sock has mined more gold, 5,000 more gold from the gold mine, so that's going to translate to about 8 more minutes of time where FoCuS is mining and Sock is not. coming back around. Tauren Chieftain, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, Hood of Cunning, a Potion of Mana. Tauren Chieftain having many of the items, and the Tauren Chieftain also very close to level 6. Are we going to see an Ensnare? Yeah, Blood Mage pretty much caught in a weird spot. Siphon mana from that Tauren Chieftain, as the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability was already used there to not being able to stop that Siphon mana. Tauren Chieftain now currently low on mana, does have a Potion of Mana, 125, but that is it, as we're going to see Slow once again being cast right there. All right, Spellbreakers, are they going to be able to get in front? There we are going into an engagement. There is a Stomp slowing down many of those peasants. Siphon mana, Tauren Chieftain now out of mana completely, but you gotta believe that it is going to get to level 6 and now throw down another Stomp again. Archmage is in serious trouble. Scroll of Healing being used. Archmage, Scroll of Town Portal, is it going to use? Yes, it does. Multiple level 6 heroes coming in from the Orc side, as the Flame Strike gives a departing gift right there. Kodo Beast, nothing in its belly. Cloak of Shadows dropped here, and well, we are looking at 43 supply compared to 66. All right, Archmage, 230 hit points and climbing back up steadily. The Rifleman trying to heal back everything. Blood Mage, well, needing to figure out what its follow-up plan is going to be to try and shut down that Tauren Chieftain, who now has Resurrection. You'd rather have a full hit point, no mana Resurrection, or a 10 hit point, no mana Tauren Chieftain, than a resurrected Tauren Chieftain who will then just start stomping that back line again. Sorceresses, well, we are looking only at Keep versus Stronghold, no Fortress or Castle play either. Only 90 seconds of mining here and only 10 seconds of mining here. Mass Teleport inside the base though, and here we are. Flame Strike coming across, as well. Orc Burrows are going to get taken down. Orc Burrows do give a little bit of experience. Purge onto the Water Elemental to quickly take it out, but this is only superficial damage. Orc Burrows, well, it's 49 supply compared to 42, as the Blood Mage is going to try and siphon mana. There is another Mass Teleport to get away. Are any units going to actually fall? And one Rifleman gets taken down, and snare onto the Archmage. Archmage now taken, or now, well, delaying this retreat, as the Chain Lightning, did it end up finishing off more units? Yes, it did. Some units actually brought over and killed another unit with that Chain Lightning. Level 6, going back the other way. 46 supply compared to 57. It is now Mass Teleport versus the economic game. Well, are the Archmage it's with the American Express card being everywhere it wants to be, able to teleport every single place, and I don't think that's actually American Express's, or is that Visa? I don't know. I don't think it's that credit card's logo or tag line or motto any longer. So we'll see. Anyways, Archmage, it wasn't late. The net stopped it. Yeah. The Mass Teleport was in time, and I was waiting for the Mass Teleport. It did not happen, and then you notice that there was an Ensnare onto the Archmage, forcing a Scroll of Town Portal instead, but that would end up delaying everything. All right, here we are. There's a Flame Strike right there. There's a Stomp that we were waiting for. Archmage, Blood Mage needs to siphon mana away from that Tauren Chieftain, but doesn't want to be in that frontline spot, as it siphons mana a large amount of damage, even though it does have 7 armor, and then Snare follow up there. Archmage does have a Scroll of Healing. Are we going to see a Flame Strike? Yes, we are, across multiple units. Farseer trying to go back after the backline here. Couple of peasants also joining in on the fight. Blood Mage with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, removing all of the mana from that Tauren Chieftain. Farseer also out of mana, as the fight is just falling on all sides. 47 supply compared to 49. It is still anyone's game. A low hit point for Troll Berserker. A couple of Raiders could get taken down as well, and it is just coming down to really who's focusing down on the weaker units, who sees the weaker units and is able to engage. A very low hit point Raider back across over here. There goes another Raider trying to escape away, down to 42 hit points, as the Flame Strike now shutting down all the mining here. FoCuS is one advantage coming to an end, as a Raider quickly getting taken down. Blood Mage, sitting at level 4 right now. There's still plenty of healing going on, and it's really the healing game that is giving the advantage to Sok right now, being able to keep these priests all topped off on mana. And it means that it keeps all of the remaining units topped off on hit points. All right, Tauren Chieftain trying to make its way over, unable to do so, throws down a Stomp. There goes the Ensnare, as the Tauren Chieftain is once again out of mana. Archmage continuing to battle it up. Are we going to see mass teleport? Grunt could get taken down. Rifleman about to get taken down as well. Units are just trying to run away, and that Rifleman just going to end up getting lost. There is a stomp once more as the Tauren Chieftain going after that Blood Mage again. All right, units going back every which way. Are we just going to see them focus down on the units instead of the heroes? And this could be the game here. A couple of Raiders and a couple of Grunts could get taken out. Archmage has a good number of hit points. There's that mass teleport. Another Kodo Beast could get taken out. No, down to 140 hit points. Ends up surviving. The Great Hall down to 66 hit points. Are the peasants actually going to come off to repair? That's a big deal. Down to 33, 30. Are the peasants going to finish it off? The Great Hall, does he realize it? And the peasants finish off the Great Hall here, removing that advantage there as a Spellbreaker pops back out. Tauren Chieftain back out onto the field. 26 supply compared to 32. Tauren Chieftain, you cannot knock him down. He'll just get back up again with, bigger, stronger, faster, and better as the Chain Lightning rips their way through. All right, Farseer gets taken out by a last-hit Spellbreaker attack. Siphon mana here, and pretty much what's happening is focus down the entire army except that Tauren Chieftain, and then once the army is gone, go after that Tauren Chieftain. All right, slow onto that unit there. Peons trying to run on away here. Not going to work out well. Archmage sitting at level 7. Are there any priests? No. All the priests were taken out pretty quickly as well. There is a mass teleport. And beautifully done there. Banishing your own Archmage, knowing that your opponent had no way of stomping that. And FoCuS has left the game, even though FoCuS had the higher score. Beautiful game between the two, between FoCuS and Sok. Mass teleport, both of them playing on a razor's edge, trying to get every ounce of usefulness out of their heroes. That Spellbreaker nearly escaped. You saw that, the Farseer, you saw it nearly escape that Spellbreaker, able to get that last hit in right as it was about to run away. And we all know how fast Healing Salve would have saved and brought that Farseer back into the game. Ignoring the Tauren Chieftain, allowing that Tauren Chieftain to just run amok, but without that much mana, was absolutely key. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.